view.
Right. But we're not going for the scenery alone.
Oh, so we're actually looking for birds.
You got it. We're
Yeah.
diving into this Badgerland birding YouTube video.
Badgerland birding, huh? Never heard of them.
They're pretty cool. You should check them out.
I'll have to add them to my list.
Anyway, in this video, they're on a mission to find out what birds actually live in the Grand Canyon.
Now that's a challenge. I wouldn't think of the Grand Canyon as a birding hotspot.
You and me both.
Ugh.
But that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
Okay, I'm hooked. What kind of birds did they find? Anything interesting?
Oh, you better believe it. They found some really cool species, even a few lifers.
Lifers. Those are always exciting.
Let's see what they uncovered.
This video sounds like more than just a bird checklist.
It is. It is.
What makes it so special?
Well, it really captures the whole Grand Canyon experience. It's not just about the birds.
I see. It's about the journey and how the birders connect with the place.
Exactly. And that human element adds so much to the whole thing.
Makes it more relatable. For someone like me who's not a hardcore birder.
Right. It starts with this, well, a kind of funny observation.
Funny how so?
Their very first bird sighting is a house sparrow.
A house sparrow? Seriously?
Yep, the one you see in, like, every parking lot.
Nature has a sense of humor, doesn't it?
I know, right? You're at this majestic place expecting to see some rare species.
And bam! It's a bird you could see right outside your window.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a good reminder that birding is full of surprises.
You never know what you're going to find.
That's for sure. And speaking of surprises, they run into these rock squirrels.
Rock squirrels. Are those common in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, they are. And the video points out something really interesting about them.
Okay, tell me more.
Their behavior has actually changed because of all the tourists.
Oh, that's interesting. How so?
Well, they're super friendly, almost like they become domesticated.
Why is that?
Because people feed them.
Ah, makes sense. 5 million visitors a year.
That's a lot of potential snacks for a rock squirrel.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not just about the foot traffic,
Right. It's how the wildlife adapts to that constant human presence.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Well, let's move on. Now they head into the conifer forests.
Conifer forests, okay. Deeper into the canyon.
Yep. And finally, a bird you wouldn't spot just anywhere.
Oh, I'm all ears.
The Black-throated Gray Warbler.
Now, that's a name I can get behind, Black-throated Gray Warbler. Nice.
Pretty descriptive, huh? And the video gives all these great details about its markings.
Like what?
Gray, black, white, with a touch of yellow.
Sounds handsome. I'd love to see one of those.
And get this, they even talk about the warbler's nest.
The nest.
Now that's getting into the nitty-gritty.
I know, right? They describe it as cup-shaped, high up in a tree fork.
Not just some random pile of twigs.
Nope. There's real strategy there, It's all about protecting their young from predators.
Smart bird. And speaking of smart birds, their next find is even more unique.
Oh, lay it on me. What is it?
The Juniper Titmouse.
The Juniper Titmouse. Never heard of that one.
And you won't find this bird just anywhere.
Oh, really? Where do they live?
It's specific to this region.
Specific to the Grand Canyon. Wow, that's amazing.
You start to see how the whole ecosystem is interconnected, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Birds evolving to thrive in these very particular conditions.
It's like a perfect example of adaptation.
Oh, and get this about the Juniper Titmouse.
What? Tell me.
The females, they hiss to defend themselves.
They hiss instead of flying away.
Yeah, the video mentions that.
That's unusual, isn't it? Most birds just take flight when they're threatened.
Right. But this shows you there's still so much we don't know about how creatures survive.
Especially in challenging environments, like the Grand Canyon.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not about being the biggest or the strongest.
Sometimes it's about having a unique trick up your sleeve.
A hissing titmouse.
Now,
that's a good defense.
You'd think twice before messing with that.
Okay. Ready for the moment we've all been waiting for.
The big reveal. Yeah, bring it on.
They reach the canyon edge.
Ah, finally! That's the money shot.
And the video does such a great job capturing their awe.
I bet it's breathtaking.
Like you can feel that first-time view of the canyon.
Even through the scream.
Exactly. It reminds you of how powerful that first glimpse can be.
Sometimes you get so focused on finding a specific bird.
You forget to just look up and enjoy the view.
Exactly. This video sounds like it has a good balance of both.
It does, it does. And so, they spot common ravens soaring above.
Common ravens, fitting for such a historic place.
I know, right? But then, they get a lifer sighting.
Ooh, a lifer. Tell me everything.
It's the violet-green swallow.
The violet-green swallow. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Can you imagine these vibrant, green and violet birds against that backdrop.
Wow, that's gotta be spectacular.
It's those unexpected moments that make birding so special.
It's true. You're looking for one thing and then bam, something totally different catches your eye.
And you're learning about a bird you never even knew existed.
That's the best feeling. But then things quiet down.
Yeah, the video shows them searching, waiting, hoping for another sighting.
Ah, the thrill of the hunt?
I know that feeling. It's all about patience, understanding that nature unfolds on its own terms.
You can't force an encounter?
Nope, but you can be ready for it when it happens.
And in this case, that patience pays off big time.
Because there it is, a flash of blue.
A flash of blue. That's got to get a birder's heart racing.
Oh, absolutely. And the chase is on?
Did they catch it?
They did. They finally spot it. A Woodhouse's scrub jay.
Woodhouse's scrub jay. Another new one for me.
You know what's interesting?
What?
It's that blue flash.
Yeah.
Why does that instantly grab a birder's attention?
That's a good question. Maybe it's the vibrancy against the muted tones of the canyon?
Or maybe it's the promise of a new discovery?
Could be both. What does the jay look like?
Well, they describe it as being large,
Okay.
with blue and gray plumage, a light gray belly,
Interesting.
and a white throat.
Sounds pretty striking.
And they talk about its playful nature, which I love.
Playful. How so?
They didn't get into specifics, but it's always fun to see birds having a good time.
Yeah, it suggests a certain intelligence,
Yeah.
you know? Like they're not just surviving, they're enjoying life.
It's a reminder that they're individuals with personalities, not just specimens.
I like that. It's the kind of detail that makes birding so engaging. And this jay's not alone either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they see a chipping sparrow, an ash-throated flycatcher, and a blue-gray gnatcatcher.
All in the same area.
All in the same area.
That's amazing. It really shows the diversity of birds in the Grand Canyon.
Even in a place like that.
I know. When I picture the Grand Canyon, it's all vast open spaces and steep cliffs.
Right, not exactly what you think of when you think of birds.
Yeah. What kind of challenges do birds even face in an environment like that?
Well, it's definitely not easy living there.
Not easy at all.
There's limited food and water sources.
And you've got those extreme temperatures and exposure.
All kinds of challenges.
So how do they survive?
Well, the Woodhouse's scrub jay, they mentioned how its diet switches.
Yeah, from fruit and insects to nuts and seeds.
Right, that kind of dietary flexibility is key.
It is, it is.
It lets them eat whatever's available.
So smart.
Yeah.
But that's not all, right?
No, it goes way beyond that. Some birds have special nesting behaviors.
What do you mean?
They use the canyon walls for shelter and protection.
Oh, so they've adapted to the environment?
Exactly. Some even have plumage that helps them blend in.
Camouflage.
Makes them less visible to predators.
Speaking of predators, the video showed the jay stealing food.
Yeah, from Clark's Nutcrackers, I think.
Is that common?
Oh yeah, way more common than you'd think.
Really?
It's all about opportunity.
I guess when food is scarce.
You gotta take what you can get.
I see. So say someone's watching this video and wants to try birding in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
Well, first be prepared.
The canyon's tough.
Yeah. Bring water, wear the right clothes, and don't forget about the altitude.
Good point.
And then
Research. Know your birds.
know where to find them.
Increases your chances of actually seeing something.
Makes sense. Any other tips?
Oh, and patience.
Patience.
Birding's all about observation.
Appreciating those little moments.
You'll enjoy it more.
Now, the video focuses on smaller birds, but what about the big guys?
The predators.
Yeah, I bet the canyon's perfect for raptors.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Sure.
They've got California condors,
Condors.
peregrine falcons, golden eagles.
Wow, amazing.
They're perfectly suited to that terrain.
I bet. Can you imagine seeing a condor in the Grand Canyon?
That would be something else.
So cool. It just shows the incredible diversity of birds.
Right. Thriving in even the toughest spots.
The birders seemed excited to go back.
Oh, yeah. There's always more to discover.
That's what makes it so fun, right?
Exactly. It's a lifelong journey.
You know, the video talked about how the canyon formed.
Millions of years. But how did the birds even get there?
Oh, that's a good question.
It seems so isolated.
Well, birds disperse over time, they adapt.
I guess that makes sense.
They've made their way to all kinds of habitats.
Even the Grand Canyon.
Pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. It is. It really adds to the whole experience.
Makes you appreciate them more.
We've seen some incredible things today.
We have, haven't we?
Playful jays, soaring raptors.
And all those adaptations.
It's awe-inspiring to see all that life in such a place.
It really is. That's what's so amazing about nature, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Always more to learn.
So much to discover.
And I bet our listeners
Yeah.
feeling that same way.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
All that wonder.
And if you're out there listening,
And you want to learn more?
there's a whole
Of
world
resources.
waiting for you.
Start with that video.
The Badgerland birding one.
You'll get to see everything.
All the footage,
And hear their stories.
their experiences.
And hey, if you want to go deeper.
Deeper.
Yeah, into the Grand Canyon birds.
Do some research.
So many fascinating species.
And if you find something cool,
Let us know.
share your discoveries.
Your aha moments.
We love hearing from you.
It's all about sparking that curiosity
Sending you off.
on your own adventure.
Beautifully said.
Until next time.
Happy birding, everyone.